So the day that I'm recording this voiceover is in May of 2023, but the audio you're about to listen to comes from some sessions that were done. I guess sessions is what you can call it. We had some recording sessions at my river house during New Year's Eve of last year, and I've been wanting to put these out, but I kind of wanted to master them, I guess you could say. I don't really have a digital audio workstation software thing like FL Studio or whatever, Logic or whatever that one is. I don't really have any of that. I just have Adobe Audition, but I wanted to edit down the files, so I'm bringing you that this week with the new episode. As of today, this will be, I think, the 8th thing to come out with the Quarter Life Crisis. So the first time I ever recorded this, I think the first episode, the prologue says, I'm brand new at audio engineering, so don't come for my neck too much. This is just some initial sessions, so let me know what you think. I got to give all the music credits to Chris and Kurt for the guitar playing. Those boys know how to play some guitars, man. It was pretty awesome. Listen to them at the River House, and I don't know, I've been listening to them play guitar for years now, so it was cool to finally have the equipment to record it and, put it out. So it's not an album or anything by any means. It was just a test run. We turned a kitchen into a studio in a river house in Fairhope, Alabama. So pretty neat, man. I hope y'all like it. Here's the first thing. This is called the Post Sunlight Jam. Whatever that. I think they were talking about this song that Kurt's band recorded on my radio show years ago, Sunlight Grove. So if I still have that, I can throw that in here because we recorded it there. So I guess it's his intellectual property, mine. It's more like we just recorded it there and we're like, all right, whatever happens, happens. So I think I'll throw it in there if I have it, but I'll throw the jam y'all's way. It's only like a minute and a half, but I hope you enjoy it. And the next thing that you're going to hear is probably going to be that song. We'll see. I might edit this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not even bullshitting you. I am pretty excited about this right now. I'm not even going to cut that out when I post this. I'm looking at it right now on my hard drive. This is why you get a terabyte hard drive, people. This is why you get a hard drive in general, so you can save cool stuff like this. So I found the recording of that entire show and I cut it into an album, so each song is already on there. I'm not going to post the whole thing with this, but I'm going to post some of my favorite stuff on there, kind of explain what happened with the whole session at the River House, and I'm going to go into a whole deep dive of the whole thing. I'm super excited about this episode. I'm recording this at like 9:30 on a Saturday night, so that's how exciting my life is. Instead of going out to the bars, I'm sitting here putting something together and giving it to you on a Tuesday this upcoming week. So I really hope you guys like this. This song is Sunlight Grove, recorded at the Groove Deli session on a Saturday afternoon in the Bradley Basin studio in the basement, not really the basement, but the first floor of the Melton Student Center right there in the heart of Auburn University's campus. So this is just really cool that I can finally, put this into something else on Spotify. And I believe all of these songs are on Spotify under Groove Deli's band name. So you can listen to it there. You can hear it here. I just hope you enjoy the music. I'm going to be talking more about, I'm going to find more stuff to talk about, man. I can't really think of what it is right now, but just listen to the music, all right? I'll be right back.
It was a sunlight grove, and so I drove down the back roads, a mirror chiseling to be, and boy wasn't it so fun, singing all the sacred songs, just hanging on, chasing the sun. It was the time of a lifetime, living dusk till dawn, howling at the moon, when the days could carry on. When I look around me and see just what we've done, I can just take it in and sing a midnight song. It was the time of a lifetime, living dusk till dawn, howling at the moon, when the days could carry on. When I look around me and see just what we've done, I can just take it in and sing a midnight song.
Yeah, man, I gotta say, with the saxophone in there, I'm just going straight from listening to that in the multi-track session I got into talking about it. So I don't know, it's just cool listening back to that. This is the first time I've listened back to that one in a while. That song was recorded, I think, in February of 2021, so makes it 2 years old. That's weird because this episode of the Quarter Life Crisis you're listening to is unlike any of the rest that you've heard so far, because all the recordings are coming from 3 separate years. 2021 is when the Groove Deli session happened. 2022 was when the River House session happened, and 2023 is right now when I'm recording this, when you might be listening to this, because this is going to be the year that it's released. But a cool thing about the internet is once you put it out there, it's on the internet forever. So maybe someday I'll listen to this in the future. But something I want to throw in there next, I forgot to throw it in yesterday when I was recording this. So this is on Sunday that I'm recording this. I'm kind of jumping in and out whenever I'm looking back to the rough draft of this recording. But what I want to throw in is something that you'll hear me talk about a lot while I'm doing this episode, and that is the creative process. So I'm going to throw in the kind of conversation / music that was being played before they went into the post Sunlight Jam, the very first thing I threw in on here, and then I threw Sunlight Grove in. So just kind of like to throw that in there. I think it sounds cool. You can hear the conversation. It's just a unique observation of the human experience. That's my perspective. So
Well, what was vibrato? What was vibrato playing about? It's not pretty sick, man. Yeah, there's like, he has a, Dave has, he was the other guitar player. He got really good delay sounds. He was doing that part. Yeah. And I was doing this and the distortion. I was doing those two. Y'all got sound on it? Yeah. Because he can do this. Yeah. That's to go to the beat where you're playing. Yeah, that song just came out of nothing. We were just jamming, and then Jake just started doing something on the saxophone, and we were like, all right, we gotta turn this into something. This sounds good. It does sound good.
And we're back. Okay, so what I'm going to play next is, well, the file name is Mansplain Jam mp3.mp3. So I'm really not even mansplaining in it. You'll hear Chris is the one soloing. He's kind of messing with the volume dial a little bit, and then Kurt is the one playing the rhythm. But then I think Cater asked, like, hey man, what do all these dials do? Talking about the mixer that everything's plugged into. And we're recording on two Shure SM58 cardioid dynamic microphones that don't require phantom power. I know that probably makes no sense to a lot of people listening to this, but there was also a condenser that required phantom power in there somewhere. I don't remember what it was hooked up to at that point. I don't really remember what the mic setup was at this point. I know for a fact that the entire weekend, Chris's guitar was hooked up to one of these SM58s. That's what I'm recording on right now. But I think with Kurt's amp, we hung the condenser on his amplifier because he had a big ass, nice ass amp. I don't know where the sound was coming from when it was recording me talking, but you'll hear me talking about stuff. And to be completely honest, I somewhat know about this stuff, but I'm not an engineer. I don't have a degree for this. This is a hobby of mine. So you'll just hear me bullshitting around, but I thought it was a good thing to throw on there. So enjoy. This stuff doesn't really do anything, and this is just a mute, and this will pan it left to right in your headphones. Sorry, I kind of realized I dropped an F word in there when we were recording that back in December, so sorry if that offended you. I'm not going to cut it out because I don't really feel like going back and cutting it in the middle of the music, you know, so just know that is some authentic JP moments right there. So deal with it. All right, Mansplain Jam, if you can even call it that. That's just kind of the file name I decided on whenever I was recording this, because all this stuff got recorded anywhere between 9 to like 2 in the morning, sometime around the weekend of New Year's Eve of 2022. There's, of course, filed names and saves and times and all that stuff, but I don't really feel like looking into the details. It's kind of more fun for me for it to be ambiguous. So I'll talk about Cater and Chris's kind of guitar chemistry type of thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how much I can speak for them, but I can tell you that before this, they'd only played together one other time at the River House months before. I guess that was also October 2021. So that would have been my senior year. I invited my friends down, but we were playing on the pier. They played on the pier. I didn't really play anything, but they'd only ever played together before that. And these are some of my favorite, these are some of my best guitar player friends, some of my best friends that also play instruments, whatever. And I brought them together, and I was like, okay, I spent all this money on this cool-ass equipment back in October 2022 when I first moved to Nashville, and I want to hear y'all play, man. I want to put this and do something with it, and I'm finally, after all this time, doing something with it. And that was that. So we'll see what happens next. But so when you're listening to this, just know that this is one of the first times these guys have ever played together. They've both played with other people in the past. Like Chris has band backgrounds, but played guitar. He's probably played for, I wouldn't say a decade, something like that. I don't want to just give out all his info. I know Kurt's played for a while now, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to share a whole lot of their personal info. I just kind of want to explain more, paint the picture more about the chemistry and relations with the guitar. And I don't know, I'm into jam band stuff. I'm into creative process stuff. So this is more an episode about me telling you stuff that I'm interested in and hoping that you're enjoying it and hoping that you're enjoying the music. So I'm going to find something else. I'm going to pause for now. Okay, so what I chose next happened pretty early on in the sessions. I do remember that. This is, I believe it's Chris playing a little bit of Lenny by Stevie Ray Vaughan. The file name for this is short, low volume Lenny Chris question mark 4800 hertz dot wave. So wordy, but it kind of sounds like Lenny by Stevie Ray Vaughan. But I think the significance that I'm going for with this is creative processes, like I've mentioned before. You can hear someone that's practiced a song, you can hear how there's like a little bit of a loop in the backgrounds. He's got a loop pedal going. You can even hear the click if you listen to it closely. And this one's lower volume, so you're going to have to get real close and you're going to have to listen closely to it. You're going to have to turn your headphones up a little bit. But yeah, enjoy this. This is Chris playing Lenny by Stevie Ray Vaughan. I think it's Chris. Could have been Kurt, but I know that it's played on a Fender Stratocaster. I'm really close to my microphone when I record this, so I'm going to have to bump it down a little. So yeah, towards the end of this, you can hear me kind of moving microphones around. You can hear some errors in there, but that's the beauty of the creative process. And I guess the hypothesis, you test it out, and if you mess up, you learn something either way. So I've always kind of enjoyed that. I learned about a hypothesis with that Alabama education system way back in the day. But that's pretty cool. I didn't do anything to that audio except amp it up. That's why there's so much white noise in there. But that amplifier itself, I think it's a Fender Blues Junior with just the natural reverb dial that the amplifier comes with, and a loop pedal. So it's really cool, the tone that he got from that. But it also could be coming from Kurt's Marshall amp. I know that it's, I think, an American. Okay, I guess I don't know. I know it's a Fender Stratocaster. Don't know if it's an American made. I believe that it is an American made. Just played with the reverb on one of those amplifiers, so it's just a really crisp sound. You can really hear the white noise because of how much I had to amp that sound up, but hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna pause this until we find something else. So speaking of creative processes and making errors, you'll hear me more than anyone making errors. This is the only thing that I'm probably gonna put out here that I have played on so far. I don't think I really played much at all in this session. I know I did a here and there, but I'm not really much of a player. But it's me on the bass. You can hear my bass playing. You can hear Kurt yet again on rhythm, and then Chris tearing his guitar apart, dude. It was just amazing watching him do this, because he had this wah pedal that I gave him. He's playing on this wah pedal that a buddy that I used to work with gave me, and I don't know, it's just cool seeing something get passed down until it finally lands with the person that is more meant for it, that knows what they're doing, can unleash the potential of something like this. So more so enjoy Chris's soloing in this. You can hear me playing the bass and making errors. I kind of kept with it, but the song, this track, the file name has nothing to do with the song, because this goes back to the days of the DJP show and The Calm Before the Storm. It was a song that I guess was kind of co-written, not even really a song, but it was kind of my intro and outro for my talk show that I had on my old radio show. Shout out to Nate. I don't know if Nate listens to this, but if you do, man, let me know. I'm probably going to send you a link and let you know, dude, I'm giving you the credit, man. You kind of helped me with the chord progression, and I kind of put together the bass thing. We had a really cool recording that's out there. If I still have that on my terabyte hard drive, I might throw that in here too, because I know in that one, it's my soloing and Nate on the rhythm. I don't know. That one is probably pretty dated now, because that was recorded during the pandemic. So we'll see if I can find it. But if not, enjoy The Calm Before the Storm River House session thing. Yeah, here we go. At the end, I say, I want to keep going with that. Spoiler alert, we didn't keep going with that. We had ourselves a good time when those boys tore it up on that. But right now, it's almost 10:45 on a Saturday night, and I have work in the morning. So I'm going to put a pin in this one for now, but you have no idea, because with the moment that I hit pause, it's going to start playing again for you whenever you're listening to this. So that's probably not really going to make any sense in your context, but this is kind of like is this what meta is? Is that what I'm doing right now? I don't know, I guess because it comments upon itself. Is that what that means? I don't know. Send me an email, qlcpod@outlook.com. Let me know what meta means, because I have no idea what it means, but I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let's see if I can find that song or that recording that we did at the Weagle studio back during the pandemic. Nate and I would go into the Weagle studios on Friday nights, because we couldn't really go to the bar or anything like that, pandemic and all. So we would go there and we would record music. Go where I want. That was my thing at the Auburn campus. So if you know me and you knew me at Auburn, you know that I would park my car wherever I want. So we'd pull right up on the student center, just pull up on the concourse, load all the stuff from the studio at, 8:30. We'd eat dinner, and then we'd go to the studio and we'd hang out there till, midnight or so, and we'd record. And there's not a lot of recordings, but we had fun listening to music, being in the radio station. So if I have any of those recordings, I'll throw that in here. But for now, I'm going to go to bed. Take care. I lied. I'm not going to go to bed yet. because I hopped back on my computer. I took like a 15-minute break just because I've been sitting at the computer for a while. Kind of needed to walk around, stretch my back. But I sat down because my curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to pull up my hard drive, and I found the intro to the DJP show, and man, is it cringe now, in my opinion, listening to it. I mean, it's good. I'm proud of the music. Myself, my voice sounds, you can tell it's my younger self. I still sound young, but the music, dude, I'm so proud of how this music turned out now, even years later. So it's Nathan on the acoustic, and it's me on the solo, and I'm playing this guitar that I've had since I was 12 years old. It was the first electric guitar I ever bought, and I still have it. I'm not looking at it right now because I'm looking at the microphone, I'm looking at the computer, whatever. It's right behind me. That thing is a decade old now. That's crazy. I got it for like $120 at Guitar Center. It's kind of a POS, but still got it, man. I'll always like the Stratocaster. I'll always like that guitar. I'll probably keep it forever. It's like a priceless thing for me now. So it's cool that I have something recorded that I did with it, you know, because I feel like I've never really done anything with music, but I've always kind of enjoyed it. I don't really want to make it, but I'm glad that there's something out there that I did. I'm like, okay, sweet. And I hope you're wearing stereo headphones for this, because I kind of did that little left to right action. Enjoy. What's up, Auburn? You're listening to Live with DJP on WEGL. For the next hour, my friends and I will be talking about life, music, and whatever else comes to mind. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on 91.1. Now get ready for some live stories, live emotions, live with DJP. Enjoy the show. Still listening back to that again, like now a day later. I went to bed at one point after editing all this stuff, and I'm back on it again today. But just listening back to it again, it's still cool hearing that again. That was the old intro for the DJP show way back during the pandemic. I still remember playing that in the studio. I still remember it. So cool to bring that up. Next, we're going to continue on with the terabyte hard drive, kind of looking through the old recordings, back on the Groove Deli session. Here's Can't Tell No More. This was one of my favorites of every song that we recorded. I think they did 8 songs. This is one of my favorites. I think this is the one that might be their most played on Spotify, but just check them out on Spotify if you enjoyed this.
my fault or is it my mind that's wrong? I can tell no more. You move away, I would ask you to stay. Always, sometime. I can tell no more. I can tell no more. I can tell no more.
I'm still a big fan of the music, and that I remember being in the studio that day watching them through the window because it was two separate rooms, like setting up, coordinating a live band to play. That was a hassle, to say the least, but it was really cool to have a live band of, I think, like 6 people playing in there because there's drums, bass, a singer, a saxophone, and 2 guitarists. So that, and then you got to get an engineer. This is where I falter, man. I forgot his name. I think it was Eli. I know it's terrible that I forgot his name, but I would not have been able to do that without his engineering. But it's cool to have produced it and put it on the air. I guess directed it. I don't know what all the credits are for that, but it's cool. But I'm going to be done reminiscing for now. We're going to jump back into the Riverhouse recordings because that's kind of what the purpose of this one was. But I've been doing a little walk down memory lane. So coming up next, the file name, Great Ledbetter Take .wave. So we'll see if this is good or I don't know. I haven't listened to it in a while. I still enjoy listening to that one. Like even today, I still remember being in that studio, right next door to it because trying to coordinate a live band of 6 people and getting a day that no one has something going on a Saturday in the spring semester, it was a hassle to say the least. But shout out to my engineer. Okay, I believe his name was Eli, but I don't remember his last name. I hate that I don't remember it, but shout out to him, man. I would not have been able to put that thing together without the engineering. Like, I can set up microphones, but to be able to mix it is just a whole extra task. But I guess you could say I produced it because I had to coordinate and then put it on the air and write what was going to happen. There's a lot of moving parts in it, so I'm just glad I can say I did a radio show that did that. But we're done reminiscing for now. We're going to go back into the Riverhouse sessions because that's kind of what we're originally supposed to be doing here. And this is one of my favorite songs from the 1990s. It is a cover, of course, because I can't play the original one or else I would get copyright strikes. And no one wants that to happen, at least not this early on. But this one is a Pearl Jam song, and it's a cover. I think you can hear, I think it's Kurt that goes first. And then Chris plays. They're kind of trading back and forth. This is the Stratocaster and the Gibson Les Paul here again. So enjoy this. Okay, I'll start it over. I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, and I'll give you... Go. One of my favorite things about that song, Yellow Ledbetter by Pearl Jam, is, as you can see, it's a very easy song for two people to just kind of play together and take turns practicing with the solo or something like that. The recording kind of cuts off abruptly there, but it was just fun watching them do that because I knew they could both play it because they both liked the song. But coming up next, I mentioned it last night when I was recording before I went to bed, there was some Pink Floyd in there, so I'm gonna throw y'all, this is what I thought was some of Kurt's best playing from the whole weekend. I'll go ahead and say it. Chris went first on this one, and then Kurt kind of goes next, and you can hear him playing with the chord progression, figuring out what to do with it, like kind of testing the waters. And then if you've listened to the Pink Floyd Pulse album from 1995, the Pink Floyd Live album, you'll recognize kind of that solo in there. So it's pretty cool how he just kind of kicks it up after he kind of gets a feel for it. So hope you like it. And we're getting up to 43 minutes now, so we're technically over the length of the average album at, like, I think, 37 minutes? There's a lot of different sources that'll tell you how long an album is supposed to be, but I'm kind of running out of stuff, but at the same time, I don't want to put out everything, so I'm going to throw in another song from the Groove Deli session, because this song, the Bill Withers version, is one of my favorite songs, and I wouldn't know what that song is if not for them doing this song on my radio show. So here is the Groove Deli cover of Use Me by Bill Withers.
Well, my friends, yeah, feel it's their appointed duty. Oh, they keep trying to tell me all you want to do is use me. But my answer ain't to all that use me stuff. I said I wanna spread the news that if it feels this good getting used, or you just keep on using me until you use me up. Oh, until you use me up. Well, my brother, hey, he sat me right down and he talked to me. Well, he told me that I ought to not let you just walk on me. And I'm sure he meant well. But after our talk was through, I said, brother, if you only knew, you'd be wishing you were in my shoes. Oh, you just keep on using me until you use me up. Oh, until you use me up. Oh, until you use me up. Use me up. Use me, use me up. Use me up. Use me up.
That's going to do it for the Groove Deli session. I'm done throwing stuff in from there. I still have more songs from the session that I could throw in the future, but I don't really have anything else on the hard drive I want to throw in except for one more recording of a Pink Floyd song, because I said we would do some Pink Floyd, and there was only one song in there, but there's a second one. I did Comfortably Numb earlier, and then here is what sounds like Time. They just kind of did a chord progression jam in there, and at one point, my buddy Reagan came over, so that's him on the bass there. He's played bass on anything that I haven't claimed that I played bass on, other than the Groove Deli sessions. Gotta give a shout out to Scout. Scout, I don't know if you listen to the show, man, but if you do, good playing on the bass. That was a good time, man. Send me some recordings if you got anything. Let's collaborate. If you are a musician and you ever want to play on this show, like I said, I'm learning how to do sound engineering, and an opportunity would always be cool. So I don't really play that much, but I'm trying to learn how to record other people. So if you want to try it out, send me an email, qlcpod@outlook.com. But for now, here's the last song. I might even do a little wrap-up message after this one is over. But for now, enjoy Chris and Kurt doing Time by Pink Floyd. I'd say Time is a pretty solid choice for an outro. I mean, Comfortably Numb is closer to an outro type of song, but we went with Time anyways. Both two great Pink Floyd songs, but there you have it. That is the concluding track of the Riverhouse demo tape session thing, whatever you want to call this. We'll call it a special episode of the first season of the Quarter Life Crisis. This season is coming to a close. I think I'm going to do maybe one more episode of this season, and then I might take a break. I might take a week or two off. I've been on the podcast train for a month straight now. It's cool to be doing like a creative thing for a month straight again after taking basically a year off, but I hope you've enjoyed this episode. This has been a very fun one to put together. You'll enjoy it, I guess, on a Tuesday or whatever day of the week you enjoy it, whatever time of day. Hope you had a good time. If you did, I guess you could follow the social media. This is crazy. This is going to be on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. I don't know. It's a fun thing I got going on, and I'm glad that you get to enjoy it with me.